So, welcome to this session on the Files app under iOS. And basically, if you think about the Files app as being the same as File Explorer under Windows and Finder on the Mac, it's the way that you can get at or add to your phone's hard drive or iCloud or even Dropbox. You can even use the Files app to access Dropbox, so you don't have to use a separate app if you don't want to. And I discovered today when I went into the Files app that both my Dropbox personal and my new AEBC Dropbox are both there. And I don't think I put them there. So I think Files did it for me. Thank you very much. So this is something that is relatively new if you think about the iPhone's life. I can't remember when it started, but you used to not be able to store things right on your phone, and it used to be really hard to access things, and you still can't access everything. There are some files that Apple just doesn't let you at, like your podcasts, for example. But most other apps will have folders on your iPhone. So if you use VoiceStream Reader, you'll have a library file for VoiceStream, a folder for VoiceStream Reader, where everything that you decide to listen to through there will have a copy stored in there. You'll have a downloads folder that's automatically created, and you may have other things that you've put there. And it has the app has three tabs at the bottom. One is recent,
Shared. Tab.
one
Two
is
of three.
shared, and one is browse. So recent, if you're like me, you stay away from that because usually it doesn't have the things that you're really looking for because it just doesn't. But I'll go to the recents
Recent. Tab.
page
One of three.
and we'll see what it shows
Recents.
me
Heading.
here. So the top of it is recents, that's the heading.
Search. Search field.
And it has a search field so you can search for a file and hopefully find it.
Dictate. Button.
You have a dictate button, helpful.
Dylan underscore bonus underscore scene.epub.
And then you have files that it thinks are recent. The one that it's showing, I haven't looked at in I don't know how long. I don't know why it's showing me that file. But
Package.zip. 2000.
yeah,
iCloud
there were
download.
just
Dimmed. Button.
tons of.
Underscore math underscore underscore for underscore the underscore holidays underscore vi underscore keyland underscore Penelope underscore ward.
Okay, so that's a book that I downloaded a long time ago into my downloads folder, and for some reason it's still showing up on the recents page, so it's not really helpful.
Shared.
Shared.
Tab. Two of three.
I don't know if I've ever explored this tab, so let's just
Shared.
see what's
Heading.
there.
Search. Search field.
Okay, again, heading is shared. You have your search field again. So that's typical. It's there at the top.
Dictate. Button.
There's a dictate.
Editing audio tutorials. Folder. Shared by folder.
And then it's
Actions
going to
available.
show me all the folders that someone else has shared with me. So if someone else has shared an iCloud folder with you, it'll show up here. It'll also show up in the browse tab, which is the next one. But if you know that someone has shared a folder with you and you want to get to it quickly, this is where you'll find it easiest.
IMG underscore 0473. Video uploaded 2023.
Okay.
0619. Shared by.
So and it tells you who shared the things. So it's files or folders that someone else has shared with you. That's pretty reasonable. And then there's the browse tab,
3 of 3. Selected. Browse.
which
Tab.
is,
3 of 3.
if you think about it, it's basically the main brains of the app. It's where you're going to find all your folders, all the locations that you may have. So you'll have Dropbox, you'll have iCloud Drive, you'll have On My iPhone. and those are like drives. So if you're thinking about Windows File Explorer under Windows or Windows Explorer, it'll be the same thing as if you had a couple of different disk drives or main folders.
Browse.
So
Heading.
in my case, so the browse file, the browse page, the main one.
Search. Search field.
So again, we have our search field.
Dictate. Button.
We have our dictate, same thing, yay.
Locations. Button.
And
Heading.
then we
Expanded.
have
Actions available.
locations. And if you wanted to add one, you would go in there and add it. But these are the locations that I have.
On my iPhone. Button.
So I have on my iPhone, which means they're right on my phone. They're files that are part of the 256 gig worth of storage that my phone has. It's as much as my computers have. It's wild.
Drive. Button.
Okay, I also have iCloud Drive. You will have iCloud Drive, and depending on whether you pay extra, you'll either have, what is it, 2.5 gig or 5 gig. I can't remember how much you get for free, or you'll have 50. It's 5 gig, okay? And I have 50 gig. I waste $1.46 a month.
Yeah, it's not very much.
Yeah. So I have 50 gig of iCloud Drive space,
Dropbox. Personal. Button.
and then I have Dropbox Personal
Dropbox. ABC.
and Dropbox
Recently
AEBC,
deleted. Button.
and there's a recently deleted
Favorites. Button. Heading.
and a
Expanded. Actions
favorites,
available.
which I don't think I have anything
Downloads.
in there.
Actions available.
Oh, okay, it thinks I do. So I've got downloads,
Dropbox. ABC. Recently favorite. Downloads. Tags. Button.
tags,
Tab bar. Recents. Tab.
and then we're back to the tabs down at the bottom. So that's an overview of the Files app. Um, Everybody will have different things depending on what you've set up or what you haven't set up. Um, and then each one of those, so each of those locations on my iPhone, iCloud Drive, Dropbox Personal, you can double tap on those. They're all buttons, and then you can drill down. So it's like, you go from the main folder down to all the subfolders that are on that particular drive or on your phone or in your Dropbox. And I'm going to stop there and let Richard take it from there. I think that's a good actually, let me ask if there are any questions. Did I go too fast? Does anyone need me to back up somewhere? Just shout out because we're a small group here.
Well,
Hello.
the files
Oh.
folder. I missed the very beginning of your thing.
Where is the file? It's
Yeah,
in
where?
our-
How do you find it? I don't think I've seen it
It's
on
on your It's on your iPhone somewhere.
It's
This is
Where?
iOS. So if you
Yeah,
don't have
where though? I haven't seen it.
if you just ask Siri to open it, you don't need to worry about where it is. That was part
Okay.
of that's last week's. That was moving apps to where you can find them. But if you ask Siri to open files, then you'll be in the right app.
It just depends where your icons are all located.
Yeah, exactly. Mine's on my second page.
Me
Well,
too,
it's
right
on
by the
page 2.
calculator. And
Oh my,
sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead.
sorry.
Yeah, and
Right.
I don't know which are files, which are folders.
Yeah.
I just
So-
sort of go through and kind of
One-
get it to search, but I don't know
Well-
what I have on my phone that is a folder and what I have that's a file because I never did learn that properly.
So in the Files app, Sue, it's going to, as you're swiping down the list, it will tell you which ones are folders. So like for example, when you drill into, let's say, iCloud Drive on your phone, on the Files app on your phone, as you're swiping down, it might say downloads file folder. And so it'll tell you which ones are folders. The ones that don't indicate that they're a folder will be files on your phone. So So we're talking today specifically about the Files app in the phone. So the folders that we're talking about are actual file folders that are equivalent to, say, file folders on your PC when you're using File Explorer in Windows.
So you just say open, I just say open such and such.
Yeah.
Not knowing whether it's a file or a folder, and I
So
just
let's
get there.
say if you say open files, it actually is an app, so it'll open files, and then once you're in files, then you get basically all the things that Marsha was talking about, like in the with the actual app with the three tabs on the bottom, and the tabs indicating what file drives your files app has access to. So like it.
In this case, the word file is not a file.
It's
the
an app.
name of an app.
It's the name of an
Oh,
app.
that's
There
what
you
I
go.
was missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Files is the app.
So when you say tab, is that at the very bottom or the top? When
Tabs are always at the bottom.
At the bottom, yeah.
on
So
the
if
right
you
side, left side, right?
Well, they're along the bottom. So most iOS apps have tabs. I'm blanking out right now as to another app that does. iTunes, TV, music. Music has tabs on the bottom. It has For You. It has Library. It has More. Yeah,
It'll always tell you how many there are too.
Yeah, I've never seen it there. Okay, I'll check it out.
So the tabs are, and the App Store also has tabs too. Like
Yes,
so,
thank you.
it always opens to today, for example, and it tells you how many tabs are on the bottom as well too.
So can I ask Siri to open it up for me? No.
You can ask Siri to open Files, which
Files.
is the
Okay.
app,
Okay, that's all. Okay.
and then you can flip around the app. Flip
Okay.
around.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
See, mine goes to Dropbox when I ask it to open the Files app.
Well, because
That must
Dropbox
be the only
is
thing you
part
have
of
in your Files app.
Yeah, that might be the only thing.
So the other thing too, Deb,
wow.
I believe that's Deb. The other thing that's going to happen and just for everybody, when let's say you've opened up one of your drives and files and then left the app with that it goes back to the last place you're at. So if you I mostly use iCloud Drive in my files. So it would, if I close files again and then reopen it later on, it's going to go right back into my iCloud Drive. So in your case, that's why it's going to Dropbox. That's the last place you probably were in files.
Okay.
And Vangelis, did you unmute to ask a question? I'm trying to keep everybody's jaws so I can figure out whose is whose.
Thank you, Richard.
No? Anyone else have any questions on what we've done so far? Okay. All right, Richard, take it away.
Richard Airport iCloud Drive. Files, voice stream library, 11.
Okay, so let's go. I'm going to talk about creating a folder in files. So a folder within the Files app.
Sorry, Richard. I just managed to unmute. Sorry about that. So I found Files, Recents, and what's the other one? Then Browse. Is that where we create new folders?
So if you go to go to Browse.
Yeah.
And then go to one of the tabs at the top, like on your phone, either on my iPhone or iCloud Drive or whatever you've got in that top section.
Back button.
Under
Locations.
So open up one of the locations from there.
Okay, thanks.
Space. Speech on demand.
OneDrive button.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to my iCloud Drive. Let me turn this up again.
Selected.
On my iPhone button. iCloud Drive button.
Okay.
Voice stream library, 11:04 a.m. Free item.
Okay, so in my case, Voice Stream Library is the first thing that comes up in my iCloud Drive on my phone.
More button.
So I'm going to create a folder. So I've actually have tapped I'm going to double tap the More button that Marcy was exploring
More
earlier.
button. Select button.
Okay, so then the first option on there is Select.
New folder button.
And the next option right below Select is New Folder. So I'm going to double tap New Folder.
Dictate. Down. Editing. Untitled folder selected.
Okay, so
access misspelled words.
So it's actually put a default title, which is untitled folder. So let's just say I'm just going to delete that. So I'm just going to hit it's all selected. So you can just hit the delete key on your on-screen keyboard.
Delete. Selection deleted. Untitled folder.
So now it's deleted that. So I'm just going to call it something like training. So
Cap G, Cap T, Cap T, R, A, I, N, B, N, F, G.
okay, so I've created a folder called training. So now on the keyboard, I'm going to find the
space done.
The done button. So I'm going to double tap done.
Done. Browse. Back button. iCloud Drive. Heading.
Okay, so I'm just checking to see if the folder's here. So I'm just swiping past this.
More button. Search. Search field.
Search.
Dictate button. Training. 12:20 p.m.
Okay, so it's showed me that it's told me that it's created a folder at 12:20 p.m. Called training.
Dictate. Training. 12:20 p.m.
So to recap, it's under the More menu, which is the menu and on my phone it's the second option. So when it opens a More menu, it's gonna select. You're gonna swipe past that, and the next option is Create New Folder.
Screen dimmed.
And Richard?
Yeah.
Mine, I called my folder training as well, just to follow you, just to make sure I got it right. And it just goes to after the very last one that you created. So it keeps a chronological.
With iCloud.
Yeah, so that it keeps it in chronological order. So it's going to put it at the top of your list, so as your most recent one. So which leads me to believe that obviously the last folder I created in iCloud Drive was my VoiceStream folder. Last one that got updated was VoiceStream folder because I made changes to my VoiceStream library this morning. So that's why it was floated to the top of my list. So yeah, so the iCloud folders get stored in chronological order from most recent down to the oldest. So so as you make changes to your folders, it does move them around that list. You might be able to change the sort order. It's probably in the More menu, but that's But the default sort order is by chronological order based on the update time that the time the folder was updated or made. Do you want me anyone want me to go over anything again?
Can I ask a question? Richard, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I created a file a month ago, actually more than a month ago, and when I went back there, it was gone, and I had a lot of stuff on it. How does it have a time period or something?
What's that on your phone? You did that?
Yeah.
It shouldn't have a time period. The only things that might be time sensitive would be like mail, like if you deleted something that is time sensitive, because those get the deleted items folder, I believe, gets purged in mail anyways. I'm not sure about iCloud. The recently deleted items under mail, and maybe even in the Files app on the phone, it has a 30-day time expiry.
I think it did have a 30. I can
Yeah,
remember
so if it was
then I
if it
can't
was
find it.
if it was deleted, it's probably gone, unfortunately. But if it was somewhere else either on your phone or in your iCloud Drive, it would still be there. Like the only things that might disappear would be the list of recently deleted items.
And how many files can I put into my account? Like how many? Like is there a limit or something?
No,
That's your storage limit on your
based on the
phone.
amount of storage you've got.
Okay,
So
good.
like if you're not paying for iCloud Drive, you only have 5 gigs of storage, so it's not that much storage really when you think about it. So if you're storing on your phone, it's whatever the memory of your phone is. So in Marcy's, in my case, we've got 256 gigabytes on our phones.
Okay. I think I pay extra. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. I just like know where it's gone.
It may still
Yeah,
be
you
there.
could. Why don't you do? It might still be there. Like if you know the name of the file, that's a good use of the search bar. You could just type the name in this in the file search bar and see if you can find it that way too.
Yeah, because I put all my utility stuff in it, all my taxes and everything, on property taxes, and I swear to God I paid for it. But like I said, where is it? I don't know where it is.
Was it a folder or a
It was. I put
file?
in. I created a folder into like like I don't even know how to. I think I put taxes for 2024, and I can't seem to find. I got the taxes, but when I opened it, with nothing in there.
And it's on your phone?
It's on my phone.
And there was no files when you opened the folder.
Yeah, it's blank. It came blank.
Weird.
That's what I'm saying. How
Why
long?
don't
What's the time period?
you,
1
if the
year?
folder's still there, why don't you, like in the you could try, like I said in the file search bar, just searching for the specific file name you're looking for and see if it's still if somewhere else on your phone. I wonder if it saved it somewhere that you didn't want it
Yeah.
saved.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna. I even typed in taxes, property tax, utility tax, or Burnaby taxes. I did everything. I swear, what happened? I even put a search on it. Like, I
Oh, so you
don't
did
delete
search
things,
for it
but
already.
was that?
It sounds like it inadvertently got deleted. Like they would the last version of iOS was like sometimes if you swipe the screen, things would happen even once in a while.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Of
I
the
just
app
6 p.m.
is
Okay.
is it in, Richard? iOS
Pardon?
18 files. Is it in iOS 18 or 17?
It's in
Or all of them?
it's in all versions of iOS back to whenever the Files app was created, and I can't remember when it was. I'm thinking it was like iOS 12 or 13.
Oh, wow. I've never seen it. Okay, thanks.
So the
Is audio stream where you put your books and stuff? Because I've never heard of it.
No, voice stream
Or voice stream.
voice stream is a book reading app.
Oh, okay.
Try again.
Okay, Evangelist, did you want to ask something? I thought I. No?
Well, one of the folders I found was sync with iCloud, and I tapped on that, but then I don't know what to do from there because I have iCloud. I pay the extra, and I have 50 gigabytes too. But I couldn't find anywhere creative.
27 p.m. One
Let me just see here.
iCloud
So,
Drive.
Evangelist, did you go to? Sorry, I was going to call you Angela. Too many, knowing you too long. Sorry. So, Evangelist, did you go to the more? You went to the more button, right? In the files app.
iCloud Drive. Add more.
No, I didn't find the more. I found the search, share, and what's the other one? And the browse at the
27
bottom.
p.m. Status item.
And then I tapped on browse, and then I could find sync with iCloud, but I couldn't find. Maybe I didn't look carefully enough to find. So you say I have to go to more?
Let me just see. There's more.
what was on the top.
So I'm on browse now.
So if you go to the top,
Yeah,
what do you have at the top?
browse,
Okay.
iCloud Drive,
Yeah.
Okay.
Swipe one more time.
more, and then more.
So
There you
that's
go.
where the create folder is. It's under the more.
More. So double
But-
tap that.
And that will create what
If you want to
Did you
create a
use
new
iCloud?
folder. Yeah, if you want to create a new folder on your iCloud drive. So if
okay.
you wanted to store specific files, the same thing as if if you're on your PC and you need a new folder to store particular documents that you don't want to lose.
Okay, so it says now more button. So
Yeah. So if you
Did you-
double tap that,
new folder. Okay.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. So then you can double tap the new folder and then you'll get the edit field and you can just type a name of a folder.
Ah, okay. Yeah, okay.
And there's a dismiss context menu at the far right.
Okay, so that's good. I can play with that now. Okay.
Yeah, and that's right. I forgot. And the more, if you just want to dismiss the more, there is the dismiss context menu too.
Scan documents. Button.
Browse. Heading.
Server. Button.
Okay, so do we want to try? Shall I show how to move a file? We can try that.
Search. Search field.
Why not?
Dictate. Button.
So
Locations.
let me
iCloud Drive. Button.
go to let's see what's on my iCloud drive.
Folder. One item. Action. Dictate. Button. Moment for Mastodon. Folder. One item. Actions available. Downloads. Folder. 150 items. Actions available.
Okay, let's go into my downloads folder because there are lots of things there.
Downloads.
So I just double tapped on downloads and I have
EPUB file 2024 package folder 3 items. Action package.zip zip archive file uploaded 2024 11/08 5 sizzle underscore preorder underscore bonus underscore epilogue EPUB file uploaded 2000.
So I have lots of EPUBs that I get for free and I download them and then I bring them into and then they usually end up in Kindle and I read them. So we'll just pick this one, which is Sizzle, and I'm just going to show you what actions there are.
Copy.
So you can copy the file.
Move.
You can move it.
Share.
You can share it.
Download now.
You could download it now, okay, because it's now on iCloud, so I could download it to my phone.
Keep downloaded.
Keep downloaded.
Quick look.
Quick look, which means that I could just double tap that and it would open the file and let me figure out what it is.
Compress.
Compress if I need to make it smaller.
Duplicate.
Duplicate.
Get info.
Get info. So that would be like the properties on a Windows file. It would tell you how big it is, how many bytes, and when it was created and what it was and all of that.
New folder with item.
You can create a new folder and put this item in it. Isn't that interesting? Amazingly, they're the same kinds of things that you can do with an app. You can move an app. You can you can create a folder with 2 apps. This one, you could create a new folder and put this one program in it, one file.
Rename.
You can rename it.
Tags.
And you can add tags to it.
Delete.
Or you can delete it.
Drag item.
Or you can drag it.
Activate. Default.
Or you can just open it and hope that it opens properly. I'm not sure what EPUBs... opening an EPUB on an iPhone, I've never tried it outside of Kindle, so that would be interesting.
I think it tries to open them in Apple Books.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Sorry,
yeah.
go ahead. When you finish your current, what you're talking, I have a couple of questions, but I don't want to interrupt your presentation right now.
Okay.
Move.
All right. Let's try moving this file. So copy would leave the file where it is and make another copy that I could put somewhere else. Moving is just that. It's like cutting the file in Windows Explorer. You cut it and then you go to wherever you want it and you paste it there. So I'm going to hit move.
Browse. Back button.
And then I am going to go and figure
Search.
out where
Search
to move it
Actions.
to.
Alan Doyle. PD. GMT. Alan Doyle. Lady. Down April. Search. Search field. Copy. Button. More. Button. Dropbox. Browse. Back button.
Okay, so
Cancel
we're going to
button.
go back to
Dropbox. Personal. Button. Actions available.
the locations screen.
iCloud Drive. Button. On my iPhone. Button.
And we'll go to
Actions available.
on my iPhone. Why
Voice Stream Library.
not?
Folder. 10 items.
So
Actions
now
available.
I've got Voice Stream Library folder.
Spotify. Folder. One
I've
item.
got a Spotify
available.
folder.
GarageBand for iOS. Folder. One
I've
item.
got a
Actions available.
GarageBand for iOS folder.
Pages. Folder. 0
A
items.
Pages
Actions available.
folder.
Numbers. Folder. 0
A
items.
Numbers
Actions
folder.
available. VD Scan. Folder. 1 item.
VB scan folder.
M365 Copilot folder, 0 items.
Yeah,
Actions available.
Copilot folder.
Microsoft 365 admin folder,
And
5
an
items.
admin
Actions
folder
available.
for Microsoft admin from Microsoft.
Microsoft Edge folder, 4 items.
An
Actions
Edge
available.
folder.
Acrobat folder, 1 item.
An
Actions
Acrobat folder.
10 items.
I don't want to put it anywhere. Maybe I'll just put it on my iPhone. So,
Browse, back button, on my iPhone, heading, more, button, copy, button. Search field, copy, button.
okay. So, there's a copy button here, and it used to be you had to do some really weird thing at the bottom to get to where to choose the folder that you wanted and to copy. You needed to do, I still probably have the instructions on what you had to do. You had to do I think a triple tap on on one of the tabs, and then you would get a little menu where you could actually move the file. But I think they have fixed that. And I'm thinking that I can hit this copy button and
iCloud Drive, back button.
See what it does.
Downloads, back more, button. Search field, dictate, button.
Okay, so it took me back to iCloud Drive.
And
I'm going to go back to on my iPhone and see
26 items. Sync with iCloud. 26 DSC02355 browse, back button. iCloud Drive, heading. Browse, back button. iCloud Drive, button. Dropbox, personal. iCloud on my iPhone, button.
I'm going
Voice
to go
stream library,
back.
folder, 10 items. Sizzle, Spotify, Garage, Pages, Numbers, VD Scan, M36, Microsoft Edge, Acrobat, 11 items. Tab bar, 11 items. Tab bar, Recents, 11 items. Acrobat, folder, Edge, folder, Microsoft 360, M365, VD Scan, Numbers, folder, Pages, folder, GarageBand for Spotify, folder, Sizzle underscore pre-order underscore bonus underscore
Aha!
EPUB file, 2024, 03,
There
20,
it is.
198 kilobytes.
There's our file that I just moved. So it's now on my iPhone in the main on my iPhone folder. It's no longer in my downloads folder on iCloud. So that's a lot simpler than it used to be. I swear that you used to have to go through some kind of acrobatics to get the files to move.
Probably similar acrobatics you used to have to go to move apps around, like,
Yeah,
you
probably.
literally dragging them around with our fingers and listen to voiceover
Yeah.
tell us where they were on the screen.
So basically, you can do anything. If you think of the Files app as the same as your File Explorer or Windows Explorer on the PC side, you can do exactly the same thing. You have access to folders, you can create folders, you can move files, delete them, copy them, you can share them with other people. You can do the same kinds of things, and basically that's why you would want storage on your phone, is if you think that you're going to be saving things. What's funny is that everything seems to be going to my iCloud drive, and the only things that are being saved on my phone are my podcasts, which I can't get at, and my TV stuff. So my Outlander series, they are taking up space, but everything else seems to go to downloads on iCloud, which is kind of, at least I'm using up my $1.46 worth of storage space.
You can go in and change your downloads folder in your Safari settings as well too, if you want to do that,
Yeah,
to move it somewhere else.
And I don't really care, because so far it hasn't made a difference. But it's just kind of funny that the stuff that I really would love to have access to, such as podcasts, they're still hidden. So there are still hidden folders on your iPhone that you can't get access to.
Actually dump the files from within the app itself. So like for podcasts, you actually would get rid of the podcasts in your podcast app.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that wouldn't be a good thing. Okay,
Maybe
so where do we want to go from there?
I
Do we
think
have any files questions, and then we'll go to Vangelis. We'll take everybody else's just in case his questions are are outside of the slightly outside of what we just did. So anyone else have any questions? Okay, Vangelis, you said you had a couple of questions.
So do files sync with my Windows 11 tablet?
No.
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 So the yes and no. Okay.
Well, yeah, depending.
Yeah. So if you evangelists have OneDrive on your iPhone, that's the only way you can sync files with your Windows 11 tablet. So then you'd
Or
have to use your
iCloud. Or iCloud.
iCloud. So if you're storing files in iCloud Drive and you have the iCloud app active on your Windows machine, then yes, as long as you're using iCloud Drive or as I also mentioned OneDrive, then they will sync across just like and you can access the same files on your phone and your tablet.
That's why
So
I
this
use Dropbox.
so is iCloud this 146 or whatever I pay to Apple, is that the iCloud or is it not?
Yes.
Yeah, that's iCloud.
So in fact, so what I can do is since I pay for that, I can also activate that in my Windows 11 machine.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you can download from the App Store as well, and then on the Windows App Store, and then sign into your Apple ID on your Windows machine, and set up the iCloud features you want active on your Windows machine.
Oh, okay.
I would probably personally, I've only ever set up Drive on the Windows machine because the rest of the stuff kind of I didn't really want Windows messing with my photos and stuff stored on my phone. So I just basically said I wanted iCloud Drive on my Windows machine.
Okay. So my other question is, I have a number of emails with messages and related attachments that I need to save. If I save them, how can I have them both in my tablet? What's the best way for me to have them both in my tablet and in my iPhone?
Saving attachments. Well,
They
iCloud Drive or Dropbox.
iCloud Drive or Dropbox or OneDrive would be the only way you could do
Yeah.
it that way. Because if you don't want to just keep the emails in your mail account with the attachments, then yeah, it'd have to be one of the cloud storage systems.
Okay, that gives me an idea. Okay, thanks.
Right.
Did we want to go over deleting files? Who do we have left? I know we lost a couple of people partway through your present, or just before you started your part, Marcy.
Okay, so we lost Sue. And who else did we lose? I know we lost
I
someone
heard someone else
but-
leave the call earlier too, but quite
Marcy.
early we lost Joe, but that was
Right,
before we
yeah.
even started. Yeah.
Marcy,
Chantal.
just wanted not to do with this training, but Lee has sent a message which is kind of important to you and I. Have you
Okay, I'll check it.
regarding an interview before 4 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Which is now. Okay.
just look at it and tell me what you think. Okay, sorry
Okay.
about that.
Okay. The only other thing we didn't cover was deleting files. So I'll just quickly go over that because I don't think there's that many of us left anyhow. So deleting files.
Raining 12:20 p.m.
Okay, so I'm going to delete, in my case, I'm just going to delete the new folder I created. So my
Dictate. Training. 12:20 p.m. 0 items. Folder. Button.
So
Available.
I'm on the folder and it says there's actions available. So I'm going to swipe up to, and one of the actions should be delete. So I'm just going to swipe up,
Drag item.
drag,
Delete.
delete. So I've got delete. So I'm going to double tap that option now.
Voice stream library. 11:04
Okay,
p.m.
so my phone, I'm not sure what your phone will do. I've got mine set not to verify that I'm about to delete something. So in my case, it just deleted the folder. So depending on the settings on your phone, it's either going to delete the folder when you double tap the delete option from when you swipe up on the file when it on the or folder. Uh, uh, or it's going to ask you. It's either going to ask you if you want to do the action or in my case, it's just going to perform the action. So deleting is really that easy. It's one of the actions that are available within a file or folder when you're swiping up and down the screen.
Okay.
So
Let's see. What else can we do with files? That's about it. I mean, I think with what we've given you, um, the like I said, the best thing about files is that you can use Dropbox there, so you don't have to have different. You don't have to go to a different app to go to Dropbox. You can use files, which means that you can copy files from iCloud to Dropbox in the same app, which is convenient. Um, Other than that, I don't
I
know,
love
Richard.
that you can tag them and you can, or under colors or under work or under home or
Yeah,
important. It's, I kind of like to
yeah,
separate
you
certain
like your
things that way.
tags. Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
If you're
yeah,
red, you're in trouble.
I've never used
I
the
don't
tags because
use
I'm
tags.
thinking, well, what's the point of that? But I can't see
Yeah,
the screen, but I guess VoiceOver tells you how
it
the color of
does.
the
It
tags. Yeah,
does.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. The only other thing that we didn't cover, and this might be useful for people that want to add Dropbox to their list of locations,
Is how
is
to add a location.
outlet location. So
Right.
you're in on the main file screen that shows locations and favorites and tags. The more button activates a slightly different menu. So
Scan documents. Button.
I've got an option on mine called Scan Documents. I've never used it from here. I'll have to try it one time. And then
Connect to server.
connect to server. So that's not, that's, I guess if you want to connect your phone to another server, there's another option called Edit.
Edit. Button.
So I'm going to double tap Edit.
Edit. Mail now. Fable. Request
Oh,
notification.
right.
Yes now. Mail now.
Sorry.
Fable.
Okay. Just get rid of that. Okay.
iCloud Drive.
Okay.
Notifications.
So now I'm at a screen that shows my locations. So,
Cloud Drive. Button. Swipe up or down to select switch button on.
okay, so what's going to happen is you get the screen with locations that are available to add and remove from your phone. So in my case, iCloud Drive there's an on button, it's on.
Reorder iCloud Drive button on my iPhone.
And then there's an option to reorder them in how they're displayed on the screen. So you can reorder it and move it either to the top or bottom of the list or wherever you want on the list. Then I don't have.
Switch button on. Reorder on my iPhone. Button. Drive button.
Okay, so I have one called Drive. That's for Google Drive because I do some stuff that I need access to Google Drive for, and it's
Switch button off.
it's turned off, so it doesn't show up in my files locations. So to add something to your files location, that's where it's switched off. You just double tap the switch. It's a toggle. It'll turn it on, and then it'll appear in your list of locations and files. So
That can be very helpful because the Google Drive app is different.
Different.
So, yeah, the Files app it's very simple. It really is. It does what it has to do. Um, it would be nice if it gave you access to everything, but it's getting there. It's definitely better than it used to be when you couldn't access anything on your phone. But I think that's
And then
Jeez,
to
if-
finish editing your locations after
Right.
in that screen, you need to swipe up to your screen until you hear your phone say done, and that's and you double tap it to close the editing version of your locations. Otherwise, you'll make if you leave that open, you'll make changes to your location screen that you didn't intend on making.
yeah, none of them will be saved. Yeah. No, it's like I said, it's a very simple app that can give you access to a lot of different things, and help you be more productive, being able to save things on your phone and then find them. Oh,
Well, also, and everything they have there is accessible. I hate it when they present you with something that you can't seem to figure out how to use.
yeah. Yeah. Files is definitely a very standard Apple app.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's surprising about it, really. So, any final questions? Because I really think we've done the entire app. I can't think of anything we've missed. I went through all of the actions that you can do to a file. Okay, well then, I think I'm gonna
Thank
shut
you.
the. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome. Hopefully, it'll help you organize your phone. My life is my phone. So, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Marcy. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
So, Marcy,
you.
my